Okay, well, welcome to day 100 of Shelter in Place here in San Francisco. I don't know, I've lost track. But I'm here in the garage of my Airbnb that I found out about a week ago that my Airbnb here, where I've been living for the last 2.5 years, is shutting down. So as of July 15th, I am out of here. And honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing at this point. I'm studying, working on my YouTube channel. I got so much going on. Now I got to find a place to live. We'll see where that goes. But more on point, I just got back from Houston and St. Louis. Yeah. Do you guys remember this video? All right. I know what an Escort is. Do you want to describe it for me?
Sure. I sell my time. It's money in exchange for companionship.
Well, I got a note from YouTube about a month ago telling me that this one video, the Escort video, is performing really well. It's my most popular video on YouTube by far. I think it's got maybe 20,000 views at this point. So I contacted her, I let her know this, and she invited me to her place in Houston, and we spent a little bit of time there and then drove up to St. Louis. So this was a really interesting experience for me. It was great. And I feel like I kind of dropped the ball a little bit on this, but we're all going through what we're going through right now, so I'm going to give myself a pass. But I did manage to scrape together a video out of this. On the very last day, we took a trip from St. Louis, Missouri to Defiance, and I got my camera going and managed to put this together. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned for more stories. Oh, and Mom, if you're watching, I definitely need the watch time, but I don't really need it that badly. Maybe you shouldn't watch this one. So yeah. And also, you should check out redbellysnake.com. The link is below. She is working on a blog. She has actually retired from escorting, so this is kind of a big deal for her. So anyways, redbellysnake.com. Check it out. Would you like me to drive? Maybe I should drive.
But it's so much fun when I drive.
Well,
no?
Well,
turn right onto South Compton Avenue.
Never a dull moment when you drive.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll be fun.
To the right.
Sometimes confronting the truth can be very scary.
We're supposed to be going that way.
And the best part about that night
I have no problem with your driving.
was when she took one of my toys and she shoved it in his...
Straight,
We're going straight
up to that red light and then to the left.
Okay.
But the last time we met, you had really beautiful long hair.
Yes.
And I had short hair.
My hair was really long, okay? I have a lot of hair. It's thick and curly.
Yeah.
And for work, I've always had to have it straight for work. And one day I was just like so tired of dealing with it. So I was like, I'm just gonna shave my head. You know what? I can wear wigs, and that seems like it'll be a lot of fun.
More in your life has changed than just your haircut.
We met in February of 2019, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we I did a lot of traveling,
Yeah.
that's for sure. Okay, so while I was in London, I did decide to retire from escorting. So I went ahead and gave myself a deadline of December. So I actually let everybody know that I was retiring and that I was only going to be doing online work, which is just pretty much selling nudes online. A lot of what we would call tours.
Tours, like traveling tours, like organized tours?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
No. Well, what I meant by that is like the way an escort tours is. Let's say I have a few clients in New York City, so I would go to New York City, put myself up in a hotel room, and meet with clients in New York City. So I did that. I did that in 2 cities, and I had a few trips. I wrapped those up, and then I went on a long vacation, a month-long solo vacation. I visited Seoul, Hong Kong. I went to Macau. It's the Vegas of Asia, and stayed in a really cool hotel there, and just lived that life for a few days.
So you've been traveling and you have retired from escorting. Well, this is huge.
Yeah.
So,
oh God, yeah. It was a total. For that trip, I made a point not to do my hair for the entire time and not to do my nails. I was like, I did my makeup. I did that occasionally, but I really wanted to connect with me.
So is this part of the reason maybe why you decided to
come
leave
in.
escorting?
I knew I had to get out of the business when I had this one fleeting thought. Thank God it was a fleeting thought. And not that people who do this, not that people who do this are like wrong or living their life in a bad way or anything, but I thought of going bigger, like getting a boob job again, and that, which would have been my third. And it's like, I'm already pretty busty. Like, what the hell? Why did I even think that? And that was like one of my first signs where I knew I was like, I gotta get out of this industry, because if that's what this industry is, I just don't want to be that, because it puts a lot of pressure on someone, and that's not the kind of pressure I want in my life.
Yeah.
Sometimes confronting the truth can be very scary. I felt something was wrong for a while before I had the courage to confront the truth.
On the one hand, you're tired, you have to give this up, and so you're happy with that decision. On the other hand, maybe there's things you're giving up.
It would have challenged everything. It would have challenged my foundation, the house that I worked for, the lifestyle that I lead, and any other, and just like my entire life, right? The entire structure of my life. But it got to, and for a while I did it. I kept on going to maintain that structure. But then I realized, when I finally was able to be like fully honest with myself, like, all right, I hate what I'm doing. I hate all of this. Because at that point I just wasn't happy. Hate is too strong of a word, because I didn't hate it. I actually did enjoy being creative. But I just didn't like the process anymore. I just didn't like, I just wanted other things, and I just didn't like the story that I was telling with my life. Sex work did a lot for me.
Oh, okay. Well, what kind of things?
It made me realize my power.
Oh.
Oh God, yeah. And I learned that if you put yourself first, and if you have your standards and you stick to them, everybody else falls in line. People will either accept it or they won't. Most of the time, they accept it if you communicate it in a nice and loving way. I learned how to deal with people. Oh my God, I'm like the most diplomatic person around. I consider myself, when I want to be. I mean, because I think my friends, if they watch this and they hear me say this, they'll laugh. But I think that at heart they know that I do try. I'm very fair. And I've perfected that with escorting. When you have to meet, this is the way that I handled it. When I have to meet somebody and find a way to like them, because the job is so much better when you can find a way to like who you're with. And I learned how to do that. I learned how to do that on the job, and I carried that into my real life. And it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
A skill. It's a skill for sure. And we share that.
Yeah.
As an Uber driver there in San Francisco, you learn to become friends with everybody.
Yeah.
Is what happens.
Oh, yeah, you learn how to...
I can relate to that a little bit.
Yeah, or at least find some common ground with people. I mean, that was... I was able to find common ground with anybody. With absolutely anyone. Yeah, and I can be myself and not feel... And know that I'm valuable, and everybody might not like me. That's totally okay.
But it was fun. You had fun.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, what was one of the more fun things that you did on the job that you want to share?
Sure. So one of the most fun adventures that I've been on, I had a client who was very good. We had a long relationship, I guess, of 4 years, and he let me plan the thing. So he invited me to Singapore one December for 7 days. And we had been to Singapore before for the same amount of time, and I was like, no, I'm not. There's nothing to do in Singapore. I'm not going to Singapore for 7 days. And I was like, if you want me to go with you, you're gonna find us something to do for 3 days, and then we'll go into Singapore for 4 days. And we're staying in Marina Bay Sands. I want to see what that's like. Well, you know what? He did find us something to do. He suggested Bangkok. So this is what he does for me. He books me a ticket from Houston to LA, and then from LA into Singapore. At the time, LA to Singapore was one of the longest flights in the world. So he knows that I'm like obsessed with travel. I love airplanes. I've taken flying lessons. So he wants to do something special for me. He puts me on one of the longest flights in the 17 hours, 55 minutes. But anyway, so we fly into, so he puts me to Singapore. I meet him in Singapore, and then we take a flight from Singapore to Bangkok. So my whole thing with Bangkok was we're going to Nana Plaza, the largest, sex industrial complex in the world.
Really?
Yeah, strip clubs and
Oh, wow.
and bars where you can pick up ladies and ladyboys. That was my thing. I wanted to get him a ladyboy. And I was like, we're gonna do it. It's gonna be so much fun. And he was so much fun. He was so great. We actually hit up local bars, like little hole in the walls, nothing fancy, just super sleazy. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
We did that for 2 nights, and then on the last night, we went to Nana Plaza in search for a ladyboy. But we ended up in a strip club, a different kind of strip club. It wasn't ladyboys. And we pick out this one girl who just seems like a lot of fun. Irene, and she was a lot of fun. So we invite her over for a drink, and we're like, okay, so, and then we negotiate, we're like, okay, so how much for you to spend the night with us? And, she tells her price, and the guy's okay with it, and we bring her back. And the best part about that night was when she took one of my toys and she shoved it in his ass. Oh my god.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was his reaction?
He was, I told him it was gonna happen. I mean, but she was the one. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this," and I was like, "Okay, we're gonna do this," and he's like, "Okay," and we did it. So, yeah, that was fun.
So that's fun, but it was consensual on his part.
Oh God, yes. We didn't. We there's definitely never any violation of boundaries. Very
for sure.
respectful.
Yeah.
But he does trust me a lot, and I trust him a lot, and I knew he would have been fine. He was fine with it. I know him.
Yeah.
So after.
Okay, well that sounds like fun.
It was crazy. So after these 3 crazy days in Bangkok,
We're supposed to be going that way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get off on the next one.
It'll correct us in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, I was just so happy to see Singapore.
Yeah.
I was, newfound
Well, that
appreciation
sounds crazy. Yeah, that sounds
for
like
Singapore
that
and
sounds
their
wild.
orderliness. Singapore is so.
Yeah.
And we had a good time in Singapore too.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. We went to
goodness.
Bricks.
Bricks?
He showed me Bricks. Yeah, Bricks is
Bricks.
the spot. Bricks apparently is the spot to pick
We're
up
getting off here.
a lady of the night.
Yeah.
Bricks it's in the high. I think it's in the